Gathering and also to introduce our resource person of the day. I now invite Assistant Professor and Convener of this FTP, Mr. Paulson Satosh Nitirajan, Department of Electronic Media, School of Media Studies, to give away the welcome address and introduction speech.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure for me to introduce today's esteemed guest. Professor S. Janet Mary is currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Communication in the esteemed Madras Christian College, Chennai. She has completed BA in Sociology, MSc Electronic Media, MPhil in Journalism and Mass Communication. She, as a young, bouncing social activist, launched into the mission of liberation and socially and economically downtrodden people in the states of Bihar, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu for around 19 years. Later, realizing the fact that education is one of the main weapons for any empowerment, she embraced the profession of teaching as a duty to empower women for the past 13 years in Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology and Madras Christian College, Chennai. Her voice of empowerment has vibrated in 2 books and 13 scholarly articles in well-regarded national and international journals. Moreover, she has published 12 book chapters, actively participated and presented intellectual papers in 20 national and international conferences. She has obtained her PhD on media reach among the fishing community in Kadalur district of Tamil Nadu. Dr. Kalam International Foundation awarded the Global Femina Excellence Award 2022 for our outstanding contribution to pedagogical innovation. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Paulson, sir, for such a pleasing welcome and a great introduction about a resource person. I would now like to invite Mr. Abibur Rahman, Head Assistant Professor, Department of ISCOM, School of Media Studies, to honor our resource person with a memento. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. In learning, you will teach, and in teaching, you will learn. I'm very happy and honored to invite our resource person, Dr. Janet Mary, to felicitate the people connected today with us for the FTP.
Good afternoon, dear professors, scholars, students, and the well-wishers. Thank you, Professor Habib, who gave me this opportunity, and thank you, the Patrician College, for conducting this FDP. So the topic given to me today is effective way of writing research. I am delighted to share with you some of my scholarly observations and experiences I have made in guiding students. First of all, you must be aware of what is happening in the world today. Hindenburg, an US based research institute in America, has shocked the whole world by bringing about certain scams and problems connected to Mr. Adani Group of India. Hope you all must be knowing the details of it. Here, my concern is not about the person of Adani or Hindenburg, but the core issue of research. I would like to develop my talk on how a scientific research can play an effective role in the modern world. That's why, dear scholars, I would like to share how do we go about doing effective research in our academic work or the thesis. Only by theory we can derive at certain conclusions said by Bill Gates. As I did my research few years back, and as I correct some of the thesis, I have picked up few elements which I would like to share with you all. The whole presentation is divided into two parts. The first part I will speak about the general guidelines for writing thesis or research paper. The second part I would like to introduce few research tools that can help you to write your research in a better way. So, to start with, what is the purpose of doing research? The purpose of doing research is to discover answers through the application of scientific procedures. So what is the scientific procedures we understand? The methodology that we use. So we, the staff members and others always stress upon the methodology that need to be carried on carefully by the students. And also we share knowledge that we have gained from reading so many other articles and journals We share this knowledge with other researchers. We also show how our study fits into the current issues. That is why I gave the example of Adani's issue. So any topic you pick up that need to talk about the current issues and its problems, inform the public about important trends in the corporate world today. Now, factors of research quality. Relevance is important when you choose the topic, and conform to the length, guideline, and keep paper focused. Also, choose limited amount of data to present in each section, because we have the tendency to gather lot of information and we put it here and there wherever it is not necessary. Therefore, it is important. Wherever needed, according to the sections, you have to give your data. Clarity should be there when you write, so that the readers will read and they will also understand what you are writing is about. Also, we all of us know we need to use proper grammar, phrasing, style, and all that. So this also depends on the format style of writing. Maybe if you are writing for a journal, they will have certain rules. Accordingly, you need to fit into your data. Now, factors of research quality. The first quality is coherence, because as I said, you may be reading lot of journals, articles, research papers. You may be collecting bits and pieces of information from various sources. This information you are going to put it in one place, so there need to be a coherence, systemized way of writing. Consistency should be there. Only then you will bring out the result in a proper way. So include all necessary information in each section. Do not repeat information unless it is necessary. Then the organization of the content. We usually follow IMRD structure. That is, we start with introduction, go with methodology, results, and discussion. This might help you to put the right parts in the right place. So what are the research writing objectives? What makes people to write research? First of all, you should clearly define what is your purpose of doing a research. Purpose is very important. Then you also have a research process in detail. How are you going to carry on your research? We also have research design thoroughly planned. That is, how are you going to do research? Where are you going to do research? When are you going to do? All those plans should be done in beforehand before you entering into writing research. Then high ethical standards applied. That is, when you are writing research, you need to follow certain ethical values. You cannot copy others' work. If at all you take up some content from others' work, give the credit, mention the source from where you have taken it. Or when you are collecting data, you cannot manipulate the audience. You need to give the respect that the audience expects. So all this comes under the ethical standard that need to be followed. Also, adequate analysis for decision makers needs. That is, what kind of analysis you are going to do. All this need to be planned beforehand, and findings presented unambiguously, because that's the main purpose of doing research. How are you different from others' work? What are your findings? So that need to be clearly informed in your writing. Then conclusion need to be justified, because that is your own work. All the other work you are referring others, but conclusion part, the finding parts are your own contribution. And researchers' experience need to be reflected, because it is not an easy job of doing a research. The people who have done their research will know how hard it is. So the experience that you underwent, you need to that need to be reflected in your writing. Also, the limitations frankly revealed. That is, as you do research, you may come across a lot of struggles, some difficult things. All that you can frankly tell in your limitations. So this is the research writing structure. For journals, usually they ask for this structure. We go with the introduction, then go to methodology, results, and then the finding for conclusion. So this is from broad to specific and then to broad. That is to say, the introduction part you need to give lot of information, all the detailed things should be there. When you come to methodology or results part, it should be very specific to what you have to say. And the conclusion and the discussion part, you can again elaborate how you have collected your data. So this is the anatomy of the scientific paper. Start with broad introduction, then narrow down to review of literature. Again, very specific to the methodology, then to the analysis or conclusion part. So composing research paper sections, before writing your paper, write down your research questions and the hypothesis. What do you want to do? What is your curiosity? What do you want to know more? So write down the questions and the hypothesis. What does the study seek to find? So for example, this study seek to find how many university students are satisfied with their school facilities, if that is the issue. So you need to study the main arguments and questions like how many students report satisfaction with the materials what the schools provided, or how they are satisfied or unsatisfied, whether they have any complaints to say. All that need to be focused when you are writing or talking about this particular issue. Also decide upon which audience you are writing. Are you writing to that particular school or college, or to the general public, or to any institutions or organizations? So before writing itself, you need to know who your audience is. So composing research paper sections, these days you really don't go out of your rooms to collect data. Everything is available online, library, catalog. Google Books are there. Also, if at all you needed, you can physically go to different libraries to collect data. I did my study I completed my research in 2015. I practically went to different colleges and universities to collect data. I spent time or days in different places to gather information. You know, I have to travel 2 hours or 1 hour up and down. It may be 3 hours to 4 hours. Then hardly you may be there for 4 to 5 hours. You may collect very limited amount of information. But today these facilities, these things are no more. You sitting at your room, you can collect all this data. So this will help you to have depth analysis, increased credibility of the data, better organization of the content, long-term reference that people can refer your work even after 10 or 20 years, and comprehensive information is at one place, and exposure to different perspectives of people's writing and their content. So this is just to tell you how you have to arrange your work. First, you start with the hunting for review of literature, prepare the figures and tables, write the methods, how you carried your study, and what was the experiments where you were doing, and what are the specific methods of analysis you were following, and how the results were analyzed. All this you will give in detailed in the methodology part. And composing research paper, while writing the results, use results to answer research questions presented, because you started with research questions and the hypothesis. So when you analyze the data, your result should reflect those questions. Interpret and sell your data as important, because a lot of hard work is put on. So your data need to be sold. People have to read your data. So when you write, that has to be reflected in your writing. Criticize and justify studies methods. Discuss impact of this research on related research. Then when you write introduction, background information about topic being studied, motivation for undertaking study. All this you can include in your research because uh, I chose my topic. My topic was about fisherwomen and their problems. So I started my study in 2011, but I thought about this topic in 2008. Actually, I had a chance of attending a conference organized by Madras University. As a MPhil student, I had an opportunity to attend the conference. So it was after tsunami. So the conference was about disaster management. So the people who came for the conference were like the scientists, researchers, university scholars, and professors were there. So all of them were discussing about fishermen problem and their issues, how that has to be handled. So as a person from the fishery background, I had a spark. What am I doing here? Why not I do a study? These people who are not related to the fishing, they are able to discuss and talk lot of things. That is the spark I got at that moment, and I started. Even my MPhil thesis was something related to fishermen community and their problems, and I developed that in my PhD also. So that's how the topic need to be chosen. It should be something related to you, your community, or that you are passionate about. So all that can be expressed in the writing while writing your research or introduction part. Motivation for undertaking study. You also write about hypothesis, research question, problem, and the approaches taken for study. So you all must be knowing how you collect your data. Usually, the primary data collection or primary data is a raw data which is collected by the researcher himself or herself. You may apply any tools like questionnaires, personal interviews, behavior observations, one-to-one conversation. These days, you have a questionnaire method through online or even through offline. These are some of the tools you can use to gather your data. And the secondary data, as you know, it is already available in the form of review of literature uh, through government database or even through journals. So all that you can refer for your secondary data. So now I will concentrate on the tools. Maybe some of you may be familiar with the certain tools. If you already know, it's good. Otherwise, others let's learn about it. We know tools are instruments used to collect information for performance assessment, self-evaluation, and external evaluation. Tools need to be strong enough to support what the evaluation finds during research. Depending on nature of the information to be gathered, different instruments are used to conduct the assessment forms for gathering data. So today we are talking about digital tools for research. This can help us improve data management, enhance data analytics, collaboration and communication, increase accessibility, improved reproducibility, increased efficiency. So these are common digital tools you may be aware of. For literature search, we have PubMed, Google Scholar, and JSTOR. PubMed is mainly used for medical field. Google Scholar, we mainly the social science people use Google Scholar and JSTOR. And the reference management softwares like EndNote, Zotero, Mendeley, we may see one or two of this in the session today. And the online collaboration and project management tools like Slack used in companies and organizations. And data analysis tools like R, MATLAB, Excel, and SPSS, which we are aware of. And the presentation and documentation softwares like Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. Now I will specifically talk about Google Scholar. Um how a Google Scholar can help us. You can have wide coverage of articles. You will have citation tracking, um, search refining, relevance ranking, user profile, integration with tools like Zotero. So in order to work effectively in Google Scholar, you have to use uh, keywords, keywords which the Google Scholar will pick up, like identify main concepts, use specific phrases, consider synonyms and related items, use quotation marks and combine keywords. That way you will get better search in the Google Scholar. You also can have a profile in Google Scholar, so that will increase online visibility and discoverability, potential increase in research impact via publicity, citations and downloads, control over online presence, create alerts for related search in collaborative network. So this is the profile I have created for in Google Scholar. See, all my papers are here, and I can see how many people have cited my work and what is the H index and other details that I can see as I write my articles and upload the articles in Google Scholar. So Scholar also can give you alerts about the search you are doing. Sometimes if you are searching for some articles or journals, if you click on this yeah, if you click on to that three line, you will get the alert thing also. So if you click the alert, you may get alerts in your profile, the Google Scholar, or even in your mail you will get. So that you know what is the trending papers, what the papers are published in electronic papers. And the second thing that I would like to discuss about is Researcher app. How much are you all familiar with Researcher app? So this can also help you to write your research better. So this is the software, has features like literation search, organization of information, data management, collaboration tools, etc. You can select area of interest and read regularly the trending papers. And you can also set up e-alert in this app also. So this is the video how you can search your articles here in this. I'll just play this. This is about the Researcher app. And much clear, but you can search. If you put the Researcher app, you will get this. So the Researcher app will look like this. So you have journals here. If you can find with your keywords your area of interest, you can find the full journal and you can choose the journal to read. Mark the papers to read later. So you can also link the Zotero or Mendeley app, which are useful for writing your references. You can also share your paper with the interested researchers. also browse the trending papers, the latest papers. You can try this. The researcher app you can try. Maybe useful for you to read the specific journals of your field, the trending papers. You can also create alerts for specific topic in this app. And the main advantage of this app is you can read journals. You can articles to read. So here also you can create your own profile wherein the journal options they are recommending articles. And this Zotero, it's actually a reference manager app. So this you can use it for your reference. See, when I did my research, while doing my reference work, I had spent 3 months just to write the reference alone. Day and night I used to sit with the reference. Because you need to follow the APA style and you have to write minutely here within brackets or the comma, full stop, everything was manually done. But today, this kind of app can help you to manage your references easily. Maybe you can do it within a week or 1 or 2 days also, you'll be able to manage your references. That much availabilities and facilities are there for state researchers. So you can save reference from library catalog, research databases and others, add PDF, images, audio and video files, snapshots of web pages and more. You can also write annotations and attach them to citations for reading later on or highlights of them. Create bibliographies using most major citation styles. So I have 3 videos here how you can work in Zotero. Just watch and when you go home, download them or practice so that you get more about it.
You may have heard of other citation management programs, such as Mendeley, RefWorks, or EndNote, the latter of which is popular among McGill researchers and students. These programs all have similar capabilities, but each has its own workflow, level of complexity, and learning curve. Because Zotero is free, has a short learning curve, and integrates into popular web browsers, it is a great choice for users who are looking for a simple option that fits easily into their online research. Zotero works by having a browser extension known as the connector to communicate with the desktop software where your references will be collected and stored. Both of these must be downloaded separately and can be found at zotero.org/download. Each browser you use will require its own connector. There's one helpful tweak that we recommend you make before beginning to collect references with Zotero. Navigate to the program's preferences from the top menu. On Mac, this is under Zotero. On PC, it's under Edit. In the General tab, under Miscellaneous, uncheck the box that says Automatically Tag Items with Keywords and Subject Headings. That's the example. Notice how the Zotero connector icon is now changed into a book. This means Zotero has recognized that you're looking at a book and will treat it as such when you import it into the program. Clicking the connector will import this book's record into your Zotero library and display a message saying so. You can choose the destination folder or collection as it's called in Zotero from the drop-down menu which appears. The default destination would be the most recently selected collection. And here it is. You can see all the citation information or metadata on the right pane. This can be edited at any time by clicking on the field you'd like to modify. You can also import entire pages of search results from most databases and catalogs straight out of the results page. Notice how when we're on this WorldCat results page, the Zotero connector icon has become a folder. Click on the connector to see a checklist of your results. Select those you'd like to send to Zotero, and then click OK. And check it out. There they are. Try using this technique from the results page of your favorite database. Zotero also works well with sources from the web and does a pretty good job of discerning what type of document you're looking at. It can tell that we're looking at a newspaper article while we're viewing this New York Times piece, for example. The program does its best to gather the right information, but it often needs to be corrected. Make a habit of checking to ensure that the information is correct once you capture the source and making the appropriate edits. This will be important for generating accurate citations